Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
It's another beautiful night in Pittsburgh, and the Brewers in search of their first win at PNC Park in this series. Welcome, it's Game 3 on Fox Sports Wisconsin, the Brew Crew and the Buccos. Now, so far, Travis Shaw has been the star offensively for the Brewers this series. Hit a 3-run home run last night, has 5 hits, including a home run and a double, but twice the Pirates have comeback wins. Down 2-0 in Game 1, down 3-0 yesterday. Pittsburgh has won the first 2 games of this series, and that puts the Brewers just 2 games up on the Chicago Cubs. Cubs beat the Atlanta Braves earlier today. Zach Davies and Garrett Cole, the pitching matchup tonight. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Great to have you with us here tonight. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Sophia Minard is our reporter. We'll hear from her in just a moment. Well, Rock, the Brewers are getting their hits, but they're not scoring the runs that they are accustomed to. They've got the right guy on the mound tonight in Zach Davies, but what gives with the offense, you think?
I think this young team is just going through a rough stretch, driving in runs. Runners in scoring position have not been very good since the beginning of the second half. The Brewers have 19 runs since the beginning of the second half. 8 of those came in the second inning on a Friday against the Philadelphia Phillies. As you mentioned, these guys are getting their hits. They're just not getting the big hit with runners in scoring position. Also, they're not getting those add-on runs, the add-on runs that are so important to win games, runs that they were getting early in the season.
Well, as I mentioned, they have the right guy on the mound tonight because Zach Davies is the guy getting the big run support for the Brewers this year. Matter of fact, the Brewers scored nearly 8 runs per game when Davies is on the mound, and he'll take the mound against Garrett Cole when we continue. It's Game 3 next. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. the tension with a knife. Look at these guys. They've lost 3 straight. The Cubs have won 6 straight. The lead is down to 2. They don't look very tight, though. They look like they're having fun at the old ballpark, which is the way they're supposed to act. And we're ready for baseball tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Great to have you with us tonight on a very lovely night for baseball in the Steel City. 89 degrees as we hit the air. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minnaert, our reporter. Tonight's game being produced by Brent Reeland, directed by Adam Bryant III. Dave Trout in there as well, doing whatever he does. Craig Counsell is the Brewers skipper, and he's trying to get the Brewers back in the win column tonight. Brewers have not won since Saturday's victory over Philadelphia. 2 yet to play with the Pirates. A day game tomorrow will wrap up this series. Then the Brewers continue this road trip with a trip to Philly. Potawatomi batting order has Domingo Santana back in the leadoff spot. Eric Thames hits second, plays left field. No Braun in there tonight. Aguilar hits third. In the middle, it's Shaw, Perez, and Bandy. Broxton, Arcia, and Davies round out the starting lineup that will face Garrett Cole. Has been the Pittsburgh ace. Numbers don't show ace numbers, but he is a good one when he's on top of his game.
Yeah, he's really had 3 really bad starts. That happened in June. That's why that ERA is up there. He's won 5 of his last 7. He's 26 years old, 5th year with the Pirates, making career start number 10 against the Brewers. He's currently 3-3 against the Crew.
Domingo Santana, his 2nd consecutive game, batting lead off, and he drops one down into the left field corner. It hits the retaining wall down the left field line, and Santana starts it with a double.
As we talked about when we came on the air, the Brewers really having no problem getting men on base, is driving them in. And the Brewers with 13 hits in yesterday's ball game, and here's a good start for Santana and the Brewers off of Garrett Cole, a leadoff double. It'd be nice to get out on top once again and maybe get some add-on runs tonight.
Now the Brewers have had leads in each of the first 2 games in this series. Had a 2-0 lead through 4 innings on Monday, and then had a 3-0 lead going into the 6th inning last night. Here is Eric Thames. Eric gets the start in left field tonight. Braun had played 5 in a row, and today was a good day for him to take off. We'll see if he plays in the day game tomorrow. Could be back-to-back days off for Braun. We'll wait and see how that unfolds. Braun is available to pinch hit. Regular maintenance is what Craig Counsell calls it on Ryan Braun.
Yeah, you get Thames out and left. That gives an opportunity to Jesus Aguilar, who's been swinging the bat pretty well.
Aguilar not only in the lineup tonight, but he's hitting third, playing first base. Actually got an inning last night at third base, did Jesus Aguilar. Didn't get any ground balls his way, but first time in 3 years he's played a big league game at third base. That was after Travis Shaw was ejected last night. He and Craig Counsell both got tossed in last night's game. And Thames, a swing and a miss out in front of an off-speed pitch from Cole, and there is the first out.
Now let's check out the Menards Pirates defense for tonight. Very athletic outfield. You got Marte, McCutchen, Polanco in the outfield. All 3 of them have pretty good throwing arms. David Freese, Jordy Mercer on the left side. You got Josh Harrison and Jose Osuna on the right side, and Francisco Cervelli back behind home plate.
Yeah, no Josh Bell in the Pirates lineup. He's been their first baseman the first 2 games and most of the season. Jose Osuna gets the call at first base today. So Santana at second with 1 out now. And here is Jesus Aguilar. And Cole wants to go through the signs with Cervelli. You did say second sign, right?
Yeah, right. Well, you wonder why they weren't confused when Thames was up. Sometimes the signs can be so complicated that nobody gets them.
And then sometimes a catcher would just forget what he put down.
Yeah.
Aguilar takes a ball inside.
It happens.
You don't know anybody who did that once.
And get an umpire square in the mask with one.
Oh, my favorite Bill Schroeder story.
I believe it was Ken Kaiser, and we did not have a very good relationship from that moment on.
Snap throw to second, and it's going to get away and go into shallow center. And Santana will move up to third base. That'll be a throwing error by the catcher Cervelli. Runner at third with one out.
Now you see the big lead, and Harrison shaded up the middle and throws it away. And now the Brewers can score a run without a base hit. That'd be nice to get on top again tonight.
Well, the Brewers scoring 3 last night, all of them coming on one swing of the bat by Travis Shaw. Aguilar takes a strike. Cole has a variety of weapons to call on, and after a slow start to the season, he is beginning to round into form for the Pirates. Pirates are putting the pieces back together here, and they are, like the Cubs, making a run in the Central Division. Pirates won last night 4-3. Aguilar a swing and a miss.
Yeah, see that speed right there, 96. I mean, his cruising speed's about that. 96, 97, curveball, slider, changeup. Last time out, beat the Phillies. 6 innings, 2 runs.
Now the Pirates have won 3 in a row. They've won 9 of their last 11. Aguilar takes. Did he swing? He did not. First base umpire Ryan Blakeney says he checked it, and the count is 3-2. Pittsburgh had a couple of walk-off wins here against the Cardinals over the weekend. Won 2 out of 3 from St. Louis, and now they won the first 2 games against the Brewers. Runner at third, 1 out, 3-2 pitch, and that's hit hard up the middle, knocked down by Harrison. Aguilar will reach, and a run is in. Brewers strike first in the first on a Jesus Aguilar RBI single.
Yeah, Aguilar staying on a fastball on the outside corner and hits it hard up the middle. Even if Harrison's able to get the out at first, the Brewers are going to be able to get on the board. Check it out, pretty good pitch. 96 on the corner, up a little bit, and Aguilar gets a bat on it and drives in the first run for Milwaukee. There's that first inning success again for the Brewers. It's been a while for first inning runs.
Aguilar is so impressive too. The fact that he doesn't get regular playing time and yet he just continues to hit. He's been Council's best pinch hitter this year. All the inactivity has not seemed to bother him at all at the plate. There is no rust in his game.
And for a big guy, he does a real good job with 2 strikes, putting the ball in play just like he did there.
That gets Travis Shaw an at bat in this first inning. 3 hits yesterday for Shaw. He's got 5 in the series, including a home run and a double. Home run yesterday was a 3-run blast that bounced into the Allegheny River in deep right center. Knocked it over the grandstand.
And talking to Darnell Coles before the game about how you approach Garrett Cole, he said we can't be swinging at high fastballs. He throws too hard. Belt and above out of the strike zone, going to be very difficult to square up. Have to get him down in the zone.
Cole's got Shaw 1 and 2. Down and in. Good block by Cervelli. Keeps a runner at first. Shaw yesterday had the swing groove in yesterday's game. Had a couple of singles, and in between those singles, Powerball home run number 21 for number 21, Travis Shaw.
And just continues to hit some tape measure shots. Baseball floating in the river.
And now Shaw goes to the opposite field and a base hit. He stays hot. His 6th hit already.
And we came on the air talking about the offense, and we really can't say they've been slumping because they're getting their hits. They really are. I mean, 3 already in this inning. Had 13 in the game last night. And just really haven't been able to get that big hit with runners in scoring position. So Shaw able to take a fastball away 98 miles an hour and dump it into left field.
Such a beautiful swing. Was watching Shaw during batting practice today. I put something up on social media about his BP, which is impressive. I mean, it's down, line drives, opposite field swing, just trying to get the arc of that swing
He does it every day. As they say, professional hitter, the cliche in baseball, and he really epitomizes that. You don't see him play home run derby very often in batting practice. That swing right there is what he does most.
Yeah, you see how long that bat stays in the hitting zone, and just waits back, contact made off the back foot, and drives it into left.
Hernan Perez now first and second. Perez a little flare to first. Osuna's there, and that will be out number 2. And the base runners have to stay put at first and second. So 2 gone for Jet Bandy. Bandy just called up yesterday from AAA Colorado Springs. Stephen Vogt went on the disabled list after a brutal collision here on Monday. Vogt's going to be out for a while. He's got a strained MCL. It's the medial collateral ligament in the knee. He's going to be down for 4 to 6 weeks. So Bandy's back up.
Nice luxury to have when you have your catcher coming up from AAA that's had extensive experience this year with the team. And not just at the plate, but handling the pitching staff.
He is a very popular member of this ball club, and that combination of Bandy and Vogt and Pena. Vogt's going to be around the ball club as well while he's injured. He'll be able to offer a lot of expertise. Brewers are very happy with their catching complement right now. Bandy was not hitting when he got sent down. He was mired in a long slump at the plate, but he got in last night against Felipe Rivero, the 100-mile-an-hour closer of the Pirates, and he promptly drove one into right center field for a base hit.
That first pitch fastball hit it hard.
He pulls this one on the ground to third. He'll go the easy way. Freeze will step on the bag to retire the side, but the Brewers strike first in the first, giving Zach Davies a lead to work with. He's on the mound when we continue. The 7th-year manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, started his managerial career with the Colorado Rockies, took him to a World Series, was a hitting coach of the Texas Rangers prior to his stop here in Pittsburgh. His Potawatomi batting order with Marte, Harrison, and McCutchen leading off, and then it's Osuna, Freeze, and Polanco in the middle. Cervelli, Mercer, and Cole round out the starting 9 for Hurdle's Buccos tonight. And Zach Davies on the mound. Has not been the Zach Davies we saw last year, but he still has 11 wins, trying to get that ERA going south.
Yeah, and he's won 4 in a row. Last beat the Phillies. It was a 9-6 victory. 5 in the third for Zach. 6 runs, 5 of those runs earned. And he has struggled against the Pirates. This is start number 6 against Pittsburgh. He's 1-3.
Starling Marte, his second game back from a PED suspension, and he quickly dumps one into right field for a base hit.
Let's check out your Menards defense for Milwaukee here tonight. Eric Thames getting a start out in left field. It's been a while since he's been in left. Broxton Santana round out the outfield. You got Shaw Arcia, Perez Aguilar, and Jet Bandy first start since his return from AAA behind home plate.
Eric Thames is in left for the 11th time this year. Brewers are 5-5 when Thames starts in left field. He was out there quite often when Ryan Braun was on the disabled list.
Yep, Eric playing very deep out there in left, and he's got the sun in his eyes.
Yeah, if he'd only come in 2 steps, he'd be in the shade.
Yeah, there he is.
Sacrifice positioning for vision. Lead runner on. Here is Josh Harrison. Brewers need a big start from Davies here tonight. Junior Guerra was rolling along last night. 5 shutout innings and only 2 hits until he ran into trouble in the 6th, and then the Pirates scored 4 runs in the 6th inning to take the lead, and a lead they would not surrender, winning the game 4-3.
And walks and home runs the issue for Junior Guerra last night in the 6th inning.
Good to see Guerra back, though. He was throwing hard again, throwing as hard as he was last year. Velocity has been a concern for Guerra this season, but as he came back from the DL, there's a ground ball in the hole. Arcia's got it, fires to second, and it's a bad throw. It's going to get into right field, and all the Pirates are going to advance.
Base hit an error on Orlando Arcia. Really, the only play he had was second base. Just wasn't able to get much of a throw. Really, no play at first base, and that's a tough pick for Perez at second. It'd be an E6, and the Pirates in business in the first.
It's good base running by the Pirates. Both runners never slowed down. Marte and Harrison both advance. And at second and third now for Andrew McCutchen, who is swinging the bat like an MVP once again after a rough start to the season. He was hitting around 200 in the first 45 games of the year. He has been hot ever since. A swing and a miss by McCutchen.
He's had good success against Davies. 4 for 8 with a home run. Hitless last night, but he did draw a walk.
McCutchen comes in batting .291. 17 home runs, 51 driven in. And that one is high in the air, center field. It's actually carrying Broxton back a little. Marte has great speed, and the wise throw goes to third base. The Pirates have tied it, but Broxton keeps Harrison from advancing. It's 1-1 now. Sac fly and an RBI for Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, good job. He's not going to be able to get Marte. He runs very well, so he made the right throw into third base. What do you think about the 2 hits that Davies has given up? A jam shot to right, a ground ball to short. Well, it deserves a better fate in the first, but it is what it is.
So one away, runner at second base. And here is Jose Ozuna. He starts for Bell tonight at first base. That's a dangerous hitter and a very productive hitter to be out of the lineup against Zach Davies tonight. Comparable to Ryan Braun being out of the Brewers lineup.
Ozuna, again, he's another guy that's had good success against Davies. Probably why he's in the lineup. He's hit a couple of home runs off Zach.
Does have a hit in this series. And hits that one sharply. Perez will glove it. And the out at first. Good play by Hernan Perez. Back at second base for the second consecutive game. Harrison does advance, but there are 2 men out now.
And Jonathan Villa with a couple of off days. Maybe not off days, just hasn't been real productive. But Greg Counsell electing to go with Hernan Perez, who got a couple of hits yesterday, so he's back out there today.
VR started the opener Monday. Jonathan had it going a little bit until Monday. Had an 8-game hitting streak. Brewers thought they had maybe gotten him out of a slump. But he had a rough game on Monday, and it's Perez who gets the call the last 2 days. Davies facing David Freese. Takes ball 1. Freese had the game-winning hit last night. Drove in the 4th run of that 6th inning. And the Pirates never looked back. It was a 2-out 2-strike base hit to deliver the go-ahead run.
You got to be careful throwing this guy, medium speed, and that includes the Davies fastball up out over the plate. That's what he hit last night for that RBI single.
Runner at third, 2 away. Run is in. Freeze, a swing and a miss.
Good change up there for Davies. That's a key pitch for him. Change up the curveball.
Everything down in the zone to David Freese. One and 2 the count. Two now. Home plate umpire tonight, the crew chief, Mike Winters. Ryan Blakeney, Mark Wegner, Mike McClinsky, the base umpires.
You wonder how Travis Shaw and McClinsky are getting along here today.
Both standing at third base together, right? 2-2 pitch, and Freese little half swing foul. Last night, McClinsky, the home plate umpire, threw out Shaw after his last at bat. Travis slammed the bat on the ground, and McClinsky not only threw out Shaw but tossed Craig Counsell as well. Bygones, I'm sure. Baseball people never hold grudges, especially umpires.
Right, of course.
2-2 the count. And a swing and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. Davies with a breaking ball for a punch out. Pirates get one though. It's a costly error in the inning. We're all tied at 1.
PNC Park, and you can get advice on life's daily dilemmas from the one and only Mr. Baseball, because Sunday, August 13th, all fans at Miller Park will get a Bob Uecker 8-ball featuring all sorts of clever Eucherisms. That's courtesy of 620 WTMJ. For tickets and details, visit Brewers.com today.
You have a clever Eucherism you can come up with real quick?
Best way to catch a knuckleball? Wait till it stops rolling.
It's funny every time. Keon Broxton leads off for the Brewers. Takes a strike from Garrett Cole.
I use that one because I was watching the Braves and Cubs today, and Len Casper used that.
Oh, he did?
Because R.A. Dickey was throwing.
Do you and Lynn Casper have to write a check to Mr. Baseball when you use his lines for entertainment purposes?
I haven't.
We'd both be broke if we had to do that.
I probably owe him some. Put it on my bill.
Significant triple digit tab. 0-2 to Broxton. Fouls it away, able to hang in there. Keon, the former Pirate. Brewers got him prior to last season. Jason Rogers went the other way. Brewers had a number of infield options, corner infield options. The Pirates had too many outfield options, and both organizations feeling like those two players, well liked, well respected, hard workers, deserved a chance elsewhere. And Broxton and Rogers were traded for one another. That's a called strike 3. Keon Broxton is rung up.
That's
number 2.
That's some pretty good location right there at that velocity, 97, right at the knees in the corner. Can't do much with that. Actually, that had a fair amount of the play, but watch where it is at the knees. And pretty much down the middle at 97 miles an hour. And it's surprising that Broxton will let that one go, because he likes the ball down. Good low ball hitter.
Isn't that the way it goes, though? When you're struggling, you're saying to yourself, I'm not going to chase. I'm going to have good strike zone discipline, and I'm not going to chase that slider in the dirt. Then he powers a fastball right there. Nothing you can do about that.
Sometimes you overthink. Just see the baseball and react.
Arcia turns on one, pulls it to third. Freeze will make the play for out number 2.
A lot of times when you're in these stretches, you go up there and you just overthink. It's only natural. You try and guess with the pitcher, and very dangerous to guess with 2 strikes.
And the worst thing you can say as a coach, if you have a player who is overthinking, is to stop thinking. Sometimes it's best to just change the subject. Maybe talk about something else.
Well, since we are doing quotes, remember Yogi Berra? You can't think and hit at the same time.
Or if you're in the movies, you could go with the whole scene out at the mound in Bull Durham and talk about what to get for a wedding gift.
Right.
Candlesticks are always nice. Well, Broxton, he's grinding a little bit. He's a streaky hitter, and he's in one of those streaks right now where hitting is tough. Spending some extra time with Darnell Coles, the Brewers' fine hitting coach. No matter how you're going, that's the best guy to go stand next to.
Right.
He is the most positive person in the world. A called strike 3. Cole makes it a quick inning. With a couple of strikeouts, he retires the side in order, and we head to the bottom of the 2nd.
Pirates, Craig Counsell, addressing Zach Davies, and he said one thing that you like about Davies' season so far is that when he takes the mound, he says we seem to score a lot of runs for him. The crew averaging 8 runs. Jonathan VR saying hello there as well. So he said we've tried to score a lot of runs, and he said Zach has been a part of that. He said even though he hasn't had the sharpest season in terms of his command, he continues to use all 4 pitches, and that's been a key for his success. And he said one thing that was key was for him to get through that first inning. He said it's been that first inning that has been troublesome for him, and for him to get the first time through the lineup, that's something that they'd like to see Davies get through cleanly here.
I think we need to arm Sophia with a water gun tomorrow. Take matters in their own hands.
You had to give her a step ladder.
That might work.
Maybe getting above those guys. Now, how do they know she's doing a hit? I mean, do they hear her, or they're kind of watching what she's doing?
I think the fact that she's talking into a microphone and looking in a very specific place.
But their eyes are on the field, you would think.
I think in this case not. Davies back on the mound to start his second inning.
They're sitting there with their back to her. That's the thing. Anyway.
She's the reporter. I'm sure she could find out how they are doing it. Polanco sends one in the air to left. Routine for Thames. And he's glad that sun has gotten behind the grandstand. He was looking right into the setting sun in the first inning.
Yeah, players are saying that it's kind of tough to see first couple of innings here in this ballpark, the way that sun, bounces off the batter's eye. Makes it difficult, although the Brewers had no problem in the first inning tonight. Yeah, 3 hits and a run. Can get kind of bright behind that pitcher.
It is a bright batter's eye, albeit dark green. It's one of the great ballparks in the big leagues. Great setting here, downtown Pittsburgh. Sun, when it's a clear night like this and the sun is setting, just lights up the downtown area. Right across the 6th Street Bridge, also known as the Clemente Bridge.
I was wondering what was different about that bridge. First 3 days here, there's traffic. There's cars going across the bridge. Normally it's shut down. There's just pedestrian traffic.
Makes for a lively atmosphere after games.
Of course, the bridge just next to it is shut down completely, so I guess they can't close down everything.
There's only 200 of them left. The city of bridges. Francisco Cervelli hitting 7th in the lineup today. Takes a strike from Davies. Yeah, not too far from here, just on that closed bridge Rock's talking about, just a block over is the Andy Warhol Museum into art, and it is one of the terrific art museums. So there's a lot to do here. Roberto Clemente Museum, Hall of Fame is here, and a lot to see in the city of bridges.
Yeah.
The Steel City.
Great walking town, that's for sure.
Just over to the right of us, as we look down on the field, is Heinz Field, the home of the Steelers. It's all part of the same complex. And that football stadium stands where Three Rivers used to stand. Good crowd on hand tonight. Probably the largest crowd of the series, as the Pirates are starting to play better. They got Marte back. Their pitching is coming around. They're settled in their bullpen now with Rivero as their closer. And Pittsburgh just 2 games under 500 starting play today. Davies misses up and away. Cervelli draws the walk. First walk given up by Davies. And a base runner with 1 out.
And fastball command, that's the key for Davies. It has been hit or miss in his starts this year. And that's really where everything begins and ends for Zach. You remember last year how many innings he had where he got outs early in counts. I mean, because that was good quality fastballs. On the corners, keeping it down, getting swings. It's not so much the case this year. He's been having to work for his outs.
The run the Pirates scored in the first inning was unearned against Davies. Error by Arcia in that inning. Pirates score on 2 hits, a sac fly by McCutchen. And now a man on for Jordy Mercer. Got the pitcher due up next, Garrett Cole. Mercer gives the Pirates some pop at the bottom of that batting order. He's hit 8 home runs. He is a fly ball hitter. Big ballpark, pitcher friendly ballpark. And Mercer can be a dangerous hitter, hitting in front of the pitcher for a quick strike. One ball, one strike with Cervelli at first base.
You don't figure Cervelli to steal a base, but you know Zach Davies still paying attention to him. Wants to keep him at first base, keep that double play in order. Bandy with a good arm behind home plate.
Two balls and a strike on Mercer. And a check on Cervelli. For Davies in the first inning, he threw 14 pitches. 11 of those were for strikes. He's thrown 11 in the second inning. Only 5 of those for strikes. He's looking for a ground ball here to turn 2.
One thing you like, though, he's missing down in the zone, not up. Everything has been down, even the pitches that are out of the strike zone. When Zach misses upstairs, that's when he gives up the long balls. He's given up 16 of them this year.
He's got a dangerous pitch coming early in this game. 3-1 to the 8th place hitter. And Mercer takes a strike, just caught the edge. Full count now to Mercer. The Brewers acquired Davies via trade. Got him from the Baltimore Orioles in a trade deadline deal for Gerardo Parra 2 seasons ago. That was late July of 2015. There goes the runner, and a swing and a ground ball through, base hit. Cervelli will turn and head to third. Jordy Mercer hit it in the perfect spot. And it's first and third with 1 out for the Pirates.
If he actually noticed who was covering it and adjusted his swing based on that, that's some terrific hitting. And normally it's going to be the second baseman covering on a right-handed batter, but this time it's Orlando Arcia, and the vacated hole is just where Mercer put that baseball. That's a pretty good piece of hitting if he did that.
Well, on a 3-2 pitch, Mercer turns this into a pressure inning now for Davies, who has the pitcher coming up in Garrett Cole at the top of the order to follow. Cole has a couple of hits against the Brewers this season. He can handle the bat.
Yeah, you think about the hits that Davies has given up in this game. 3 hits, the jam shot by Marte, and 2 ground balls to short.
We'll see if Cole's up there to bunt. Cole has 5 hits on the year. He is a career 175 hitter. He handles the bat pretty well. A good bunt in a spot like this can produce a run sometimes. First and third, 1 out. And Cole takes a strike. 6 sacrifice bunts this season. Last year he led his team in sacked bunts with 22.
Man, that's pretty good for a pitcher. And pretty good, handles the bat pretty well. And Pirates have him bunting to stay out of the double play to get the top of the order up.
Looks like Shaw is going to be crashing in from third base. Aguilar holding the runner at first. Mercer. Cole squaring early, and a pickoff at first.
Yeah, it can't be cheating if you're Aguilar to get an early start, because Zach Davies just fired one over there and rolled down the right field line. So I guess if you're Cole, you're thinking about bunting it toward first base.
Well, a good bunt to first base could score a run. Cervelli is going to go as far as Shaw will let him go at third. So every step Shaw takes, Cervelli will take one as well. Long pause from Davies, and again a throw to first. No balls and a strike. Cole squaring early again, and he gets a bunt down. Cervelli's coming home. The shovel to home and out at home. Wow.
Tremendous play by Davies, getting there barehanded and flips it over to Bandy for the out. Zach got something in his eye, I think.
And what a fantastic play by Davies. So athletic coming off the mound, and a barehanded shovel to the plate.
Yeah, this is just a tremendous athletic play by Zach Davies, and a good tag by Bandy. Yeah, to get the out. Well, if you're Francisco Cervelli, you've got to read the bunt off the bat, and you got a good jump because of Shaw, the way he was creeping in. What a great play by Zach to get him out.
Yeah, that was indeed. Tremendous defensive play by the Brewer pitcher, who now has a chance to get out of this inning with no runs. 2 outs, first and second. Top of the order, here is Marte. Put out goes 1-2 at the plate. Fielder's choice for Cole at first. Marte singled to right his last time up, and he rolls one to third. Shaw's got to hurry it over to first. No problem. And Davies, thanks to his own defense, able to get through that second inning unscathed. Still tied at 1 in Pittsburgh.
Scoops from the clubhouse today with assistant hitting coach Jason Lane, and I asked him about the team lacking coming up with that timely hit with runners in scoring position over the first 2 games of this series. The Brewers just 3 for 16. So he said sometimes as hitters you feel so much pressure and you want so badly to drive those runs in when you see those runners in scoring position that he said there's a tendency, especially for young hitters, to go out of the zone. He says, and you'll give in to what the pitcher is trying to do. And he said what he continues to emphasize to these guys is that there aren't many many spots that the pitcher can go if you take what he gives you and you're not chasing. So he says sometimes that may be a ground ball, that may be a walk, and allowing the next guy to come up and do the job. So those are the kind of messages that they keep trying to enforce with this young team. And he said some of these at-bats could be the product of their inexperience and their youth, but overall he said these are great learning opportunities for this team. And more than anything, you take away the positive that they are getting on base and that they do have those opportunities.
Yeah, a little bit of it has to do too with the Pirate pitching. The Pirates have pitched pretty well in this series. I mean, the Brewers had 5 runs in the series. All 5 runs have come in 2 different innings. The Brewers have not been horrible with runners in scoring position this year. 250 overall, but runners in scoring position less than 2 outs, 280. That's not too bad, but sometimes you just have to tip your hat to the pitcher once in a while.
Yeah, and it's cyclical, and the Brewers are hoping to come out of this quickly because the Chicago Cubs are surging behind them. The Cubs won again today and beating the Atlanta Braves. They've won 6 straight. Santana leads off, a little tapper to the mound. 1 pitch, 1 out for Garrett Cole. The Cubs earlier today played an afternoon game. Remember, they did not start their game last night until after 10 p.m. Cubs beat the Braves last night in a game that ended at about 2 in the morning. That was a 4-3. I beg your pardon, a 5-1 Cubs win yesterday. John Lackey won yesterday. Lester won the opener against Atlanta. And today the Chicago Cubs beat the Braves once again in a day game.
Yeah, 8-2. Chris Bryant had to leave the game. A strained little finger on a slide into third base.
Mike Montgomery got the win today for Chicago, so they end up with a sweep in Baltimore. And then the Cubs sweep the Atlanta Braves. They'll be off tomorrow. Sophia's got more on the Cubs. What do you have, Soph?
Well, that's right. As you guys said, Chris Bryant, kind of a scary moment there for the Cubs in the first. The x-rays were negative on that pinky finger, though, so he'll be considered day to day. And as you said, Mike Montgomery, his first home run as well, along with 6 strong innings pitched and just 1 run. So again, the Cubs continue that streak. They've been undefeated coming out of the All-Star break.
All right, thanks, Sophia. As Thames is rung up, and 2 up, 2 down for Garrett Cole. Second time he has struck out Thames. Strikeout number 4.
He's just got good command and big velocity, so far tonight. Yeah, good command of all 4 of his pitches. He throws 97, 98 miles an hour, and he's got a good changeup that he'll throw once in a while. And he'll even throw at the right-handers.
2 outs for Jesus Aguilar.
Now, if you have a strained little finger, do you want to be referred to as a strained pinky or a strained little finger? What would you rather hear?
I think I'd go for 4th digit. Aguilar in the left field. That's going to get down a base hit. And Jesus Aguilar is 2 for 2 off Garrett Cole.
Anything but pinky, right?
It's such a small little digit, right? But it has so much to do with your prowess at the plate. That's a finger that could really affect how you swing the bat, right?
Right, yeah.
Unless it's on your top hand, in this case Bryant's right hand, then you just maybe not such a big deal. Rock had an injured finger once, and he had to do the open holding the microphone with the 1 finger sticking out.
Yeah.
He couldn't bend it.
It was swelled up.
But he pushed forward and nailed every open.
The option I had was, okay, we're going back to Chris Bryant. Never mind. There it is.
That's a left hand.
Yeah. It hit the foot. It hit the foot of the third baseman.
See, now that's a kind of pinky that could be a problem for Bryant swinging the bat right-handed.
What are we talking about?
Your injury, broadcaster injury. As Shaw fouls one back.
Forget it. Chris Bryant's little finger is more important.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, though. You've sustained a lot of injuries over the years, and you've pushed through them all except one.
That one in Chicago?
That was in Chicago, and they told Rock he will be off the air and going straight to the hospital.
Middle of the game. I remember that.
You had a little infection going on in your hand, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of fingers.
It was actually the same finger.
The one you couldn't bend.
Would you like me to show it to you?
Called strike 3 on Shaw, and the inning is over. 5 punch-outs for Garrett Cole. That was a change for the better, but he probably could have hit at least 300 home runs cross-handed.
Yeah. That's old school. That's way back. They used to do that.
Josh Harrison leads off for Pittsburgh. Zach Davies back to work as we start playing the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-1 game. Harrison reached on an infield hit his last time up. He delivered a big blow last night. 2 outs, 6th inning, 3-1 game. Harrison hit a 2-run home run to tie it.
Yeah, that was the right field on a 3-1 count.
And then the Pirates would add 1 later in that inning. David Freese with the RBI single, and it was a 4-run inning. Did in Junior Guerra. 2-1 to count, and a swing and a miss. You see Harrison right before that pitch, he called timeout, and I've seen a couple of players do that tonight. There must be some bugs hanging around home plate.
Yeah.
Flying around the face of the hitters. There's a line shot into center field, a base hit. And Harrison is 2 for 2 tonight, a leadoff single in the 3rd.
Yep, after waving at a curveball, Davies gave him a fastball pretty much down the middle of the plate, and he's got some quick hands. He waits back nicely, quick hands, and line drive into center field. Josh Harrison, a good player. He really is.
He's been an all-star. Super utility man. You can play him in the outfield and the infield. He's pretty much a regular right now at second base. He did end up at third base last night. He's a good hitter. The reason he's in the lineup is that bat.
A good hitter. He can run. He can steal bases. A table setter for the middle of this order.
Andrew McCutchen with the lead runner on. McCutchen and his wife had big news earlier in the week. They discovered they are having a baby boy. That was front page news here in Pittsburgh. Question is, will Andrew McCutchen be a Pirate for the rest of the year? If they keep playing like this and play themselves back into a pennant race, then you have to think he will for sure.
I think they've done that already. What are they, 5 back?
Yeah, the 2 wins in the first 2 games of this series have them 5 back of the Brew Crew. That division is tightening up in the National League Central. Brewers have lost 3 in a row, 2 games ahead of the Cubs. Cardinals are 4.5 back, and then the Pirates are 5 back. By the way, I was looking at the Cubs schedule. So the Cubs will be in Milwaukee next weekend. 28th, 29th, and 30th. Their next series, they have tomorrow off. Their next series will be in St. Louis. Check that, at home at Wrigley against St. Louis. One thing you notice about the Cubs' upcoming schedule, they will not have to get on an airplane. Once they land today, they're probably already home from Atlanta. They won't have to get on an airplane again until August 8th. It is July 19th.
Yeah. They had a stretch like that last year, too.
So they have a road trip in San Francisco starting August 8th. That's the next time they will fly. That is because their road games are in Milwaukee, which is a bus trip, hour and a half, and a road series against the White Sox, their interleague rival. So this is a very tricky time for the Brewers, who have actually played better on the road. Brewers are 4 games over on the road. Came into this series with a better record away from Miller Park. Now it's even at 4 over. 24-20 on the road, 28-24 at home. But a pivotal stretch here in the standings as we lead up to the trade deadline.
Well, I know Zach Davies likes to be on the road. He's 5-0 this year away from Miller Park. A 362 earned run average, so road games don't bother him too much.
Those are the splits. 6 wins at home, but a high ERA at 6.45. It's been more Davies-like on the road for whatever reason. 2-2 to McCutchen. And a call, strike 3. Davies hits the edge, and McCutchen is a strikeout victim. That's the second K for Zach Davies in the first out of the inning.
And a little cutter on the outside corner, just barely catching the edge. And Mike Winters rings it up. Yep, good pitch. A lot of times you're not going to get that pitch, but McCutchen rung up. Didn't think so.
1 away, and here is Jose Osuna. Total board is identical right now. A run, 4 hits, 1 error, 3 left for both teams. The Brewers' error was committed by Arcia, and it led to a run. So an unearned run for Zach Davies thus far in the first inning. Arcia was trying to make a bang play at second on a ground ball in the hole, and little jump throw was short. Handcuffed Perez at second base, ended up in right field. And then a sac fly to get the run in from McCutchen. Brewers got their run in the top of the first on an RBI single by Aguilar. Drove in Santana, who doubled. There's a strike. 0-1 the count.
Davies really has done a very good job so far tonight, working on the edges. He hadn't thrown too many over the heart of the plate. Well, Davies thinks Josh Harris is going to try and steal a base. I'm with him. At some point you figure Harris is going to try and go.
Try to stay out of a double play. Pirates do that a lot.
And get into scoring position.
Harrison has 10 bags this year. He's been caught 4 times. Davies is very good about holding runners. He's got a good move. He's quick to the plate. Bandy has a strong throwing arm. Could be a good matchup if Harrison does take off. That one misses down and away.
Yeah, Davies does a good job staggering his delivery. I mean, that time he came set and went right to home plate and fooled Harrison. Other times he'll hold the baseball. He'll also step off. And he's always pretty quick to home plate with a man at first.
One and one to Osuna. Ground ball, first base. Aguilar spins and fires for out number 1. Return throw is in time. Boy, Aguilar is nimble on his feet. The big man, you know he's a good dancer. A little 360 spin starts a 3-6-3 double play. And Davies and the Brewers are out of the inning.
And be at Miller Park as the Cardinals and Brewers. That's Tuesday, August 1st through Thursday, August 3rd. To reserve your spot at this pivotal showdown of NL Central rivals, go to Brewers.com today.
I think that's a real pirate out there, Rock. In the little boat. The rowboat. He's got a pirate assistant as well.
Yeah, I see him.
And I believe there's a parrot on the pirate.
On the shoulder.
Or maybe the pirate is under the feet of the parrot. Don't know which is which. Garrett Cole back to work as we head to the 4th. Hernan Perez leads off for Milwaukee. And the Brewers will have Perez, Bandy, and Broxton due up. Garrett Cole with 5 punchouts through the first 3 innings. Brewers scored in the first on a Jesus Aguilar RBI single. It came with 1 out. Perez with back-to-back starts at second base. And a couple of hits last night. He hit a couple of bullets to left field last night. One of them was for a double. Such a good hitter.
And he can handle a big fastball for sure.
It's a great interview in the Journal Sentinel with Todd Rosiak, a Q&A with Hernan as he takes a call at strike 3. Perez is gone. It's strikeout number 6. That outside corner is open for both pitchers, and both Davies and Cole are exploiting it well.
Yeah, giving a little off the edge, but you know, it's amazing how Cole can throw so hard and have such good pinpoint control. He's been able to do it tonight. And last time out, not too bad either. In that win against Philly. It's amazing to me how this guy can have an earned run average at 435. I mean, when you think about how good he's been. I mean, he throws hard, but he's had 3 starts, all coming in June, where he gave up 7 earned runs each start.
Yeah, 3 bad starts, ERA busting starts, sweeping breaking ball in on Bandy. Garrett Cole pitched against the Mets in New York, gave up 7 earned runs in 5 innings. Then he pitched against the Marlins the next start at home, 7 more earned runs in 4 2/3. And then 2 starts ago against the Giants at home, 7 earned runs in 5 1/3. 21 earned runs in 3 different June starts. The other starts he had were great. One of those being against Milwaukee.
Yeah, there's 21 earned runs, and he's only given up 55 earned runs, for the season, so almost half.
1-2 on Bandy. Back up the middle, hit hard, and it's through. A base hit. Jet Bandy with a single, and he's got a couple of hits in 3 at-bats since returning from the minors.
Another pitch right on the outside corner, but this time it's up in the zone, and Bandy able to get a bat on it. Not trying to pull it, going right back into center field. Jody Mercer can't get there.
So Bandy is on with 1 out, and here comes Broxton now. By the way, speaking of the Journal Sentinel, there was a great story written by Gary D'Amato on a fine broadcaster that passed away that many in Wisconsin will certainly recognize the name, Tom Collins. And that is a valuable member of the broadcasting fraternity that we have lost. Gary wrote a story in the Journal Sentinel yesterday, talked about the connection in Milwaukee and the rich era of radio, right at the top of the list with Bob Uecker, of course, the Hall of Famer, but going back even to the Braves days with Earl Gillespie and Blaine Walsh, Merle Harmon, and of course Tom Collins. So we send our best out to the family of Tom Collins and all of his friends. Collins also did play-by-play for Marquette University for 15 years, and a lot of those games were with Bob Uecker.
Yeah, Uecker talks a lot about his days with him.
In the Al McGuire era of Marquette. Called the 1977 NCAA championship game for Marquette as well. So sending the best to the family of Tom Collins. Alzheimer's is what ultimately struck him down, and that is such an awful disease. And Rock, I know you and Matt LePay both had to come up close and personal with that, with the passing of your mothers this year, and thinking about you too as well.
Yeah, heartbreaking watching your loved ones go through that. It really is. Rough way to go.
Broxton strikes out. It is the 7th K for Garrett Cole, and 2 men are gone with a runner at first, and Arcia coming up. Matt LePay will be back on Brewers television over the weekend. He'll come back Saturday in Philadelphia, Saturday and Sunday, and then he'll have the road trip to DC as well. Brewers will return home next Friday Still have a lot of work to do on the road yet. 3-game series in Philadelphia starting Friday, and then an off day Monday, and then 3 in DC to play the first place Nationals, and then finally back at Miller Park. That will end a stretch for the Brewers of 14 of 17 on the road.
Yeah. Well, the first 2 games of this road trip, the Brewers have got off to a pretty good start, but haven't been able to add on runs, something that they were doing a good job of early in the season, or at least in the first half. Getting out to an early lead and then adding on as the game has gone on.
Pivotal road trip for the Brewers. That'll take you right to the trade deadline. Trade deadline is Monday, the 31st of July. That is the non-waiver trade deadline, meaning you don't have to pass that through other ball clubs if you can find a trade partner. Then there is the waiver wire period to trade, and that is all through August. To be playoff eligible, a player has to be on your roster by September 1st. So keep those in mind as the Brewers are back in a pennant race again, and it's not something we've been talking about much the last couple of years. So it's fun, to get into those discussions again.
You know, the Brewers would like to perhaps, bolster what they have on their roster, but at what cost, right? Not willing to give up too much for a short-term fix.
Assistant General Manager Matt Arnold is on the trip. David Stearns, the GM, is out with some of the minor league affiliates. It's a busy time for those guys. All the scouts. Very little sleep for the baseball operations department as they try to fight their way to the end of the trade deadline and make the deal that would make the difference if it's available. Certainly did for both the Cubs and the Indians last year.
Scouts everywhere at the ballpark. Looking to find that certain piece to the puzzle that they have. Every team.
Scouts hate when we put them on camera too, but too bad. You know who you are. Runner goes, and Arcia sends one to right. Polanco is back, and he's got it for the out. Boy, if Arcia could have squared it up a little bit more, had a chance for the gap. Instead, it's a line drive out. Inning is over. Brewers fail to score. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. It's a beautiful setting. Pittsburgh, PA on the Allegheny River, looking across the Clemente Bridge to PNC Park in Pittsburgh. All tied at 1. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Homes for Our Troops, building mortgage-free, specially adapted homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Learn more about how Homes for Our Troops is rebuilding lives and visit foxsportsupports.com. Davies back on the mound. He'll start it against David Freese. Big curveball in there for strike 1. Freese, Polanco, Cervelli coming up. 5, 6, and 7 in the Pittsburgh batting order. Davies got out of a jam last inning. Matter of fact, the last 2 innings. He's worked around base runners, had a leadoff single last inning, and did a terrific job fighting through it as Freese lines one to right, a base hit. And a leadoff man aboard for the 3rd time tonight against Davies.
Yeah, that's a dangerous spot to pitch David Freese. Up, out, over the plate. You can get him inside. You can get him with soft stuff down. This is what Davies did in the 1st inning. Struck him out on a curveball. Freese, however, is not a guy you have to worry about stealing.
Now, that was what was so impressive about last inning for Davies, giving up a leadoff single to Harrison. That is normally when the Pirates get their offense in motion, when they have one of their base stealers on to start an inning. They're tough to contain because of the threat of the stolen base, the speed on the bases. But Davies, with a variation of pauses and step offs and throw over.
Yeah, Harrison just couldn't figure him out, and that's what allowed the Brewers to end the inning with a double play. Kept Harrison at first base.
It's a nifty double play started by Aguilar at first base, went 3-6-3. Davies had 2 on in the 2nd inning. 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Made a great play defensively on a bunt by Cole. Got an out at the plate and ended up getting out of that 2nd inning with no runs. So he's had some traffic behind him. He's trying to have a clean inning. Only 1 run is in. That's an unearned run. Polanco hits it hard into deep center, and back is Broxton. He's got it for the out.
And not here. You hit it out there, you better hit it a ton. It's 410 out there, deepest part of the ballpark. Can of corn for Keon Broxton, who has been playing a little bit more shallow these days. He was talking about doing that about 3 weeks ago. I was talking to him around the batting cage. I think I'm going to start playing a little bit more shallow. He goes back on the ball so well. Why not? A lot more base hits fall in front of an outfielder than over their head.
Broxton made a great catch yesterday. Shallow fly ball into right field off Frazier, and he laid out for it, and a ball he would not have caught had he played in what was his regular position in center field earlier in the season. So 1 away. Here is Cervelli now with a runner at first. Cervelli's home run last night to start the 6th got things going for the Pirates. Part of a 4-run inning. Davies wants to go inside. 1-1 and a shot center field down, base hit. Cervelli was ready for it.
Well, he missed his spot. It was right down the middle. Tried to go inside, left it out over the plate. And a mistake by Davies. 90 miles an hour, center cut in the strike zone. And that's normally what happens with a Davies fastball at 90 right down the middle.
You could see his reaction right away. But Davies does rely on the cut fastball, and There are a lot of people around the game of baseball that are against the cut fastball because at some point pitchers lose the feel of the sinker versus the cutter. And where Davey is trying to put that one inside, just kind of tugged it right all across the middle of the plate. Matter of fact, the Atlanta Braves organization, I don't know if it's still the case, but for a long time would not allow any of their pitchers to throw a cut fastball.
Right.
Very few have mastered the cutter and the sinker. Greg Maddux comes to mind. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
How many of those guys are there? I guess it's difficult to, establish an organizational philosophy on pitching when you had Glavine, Maddux, and Smoltz.
Right.
That's
you guys don't throw any cutters.
That's a lot to live up to if you're a pitcher in that organization. Not to say that they do that, but all three of them Hall of Famers.
Well, there's a reason Leo Mazzoni became the highest paid pitching coach at one point after his tenure with those three Hall of Fame pitchers. That's good work if you can get it. A fine pitching coach, Leo Mazzoni, and he'd be the first to tell you he had the best of the best to work with.
Sometimes it's what you don't do that makes you good.
2 balls and a strike on Jordy Mercer, key hitter for Davies. You got the pitcher due up next. But you think about Davies and the 2 pitches, the same pitch in 2 different locations that really made him last year was the comeback sinker on the outside corner against a right-hand hitter, and then that inside sinker which would against a right-handed hitter be fouled off a lot of foots during the year, a lot of feet and ankles.
Yeah, that and a lot of 5-3 putouts.
So, and he's not getting that this year. That's what's missing.
That's the command. I mean, simple as that. I mean, it's simple to identify, difficult to correct.
(3-2) to Mercer. A little drama with this pitch, with the pitcher coming up next. And a swing and a miss. Runners go. Throw to third. The tag out at third. How about that? Strike him out. Throw him out.
Well, Clint Hurdle wants to take a look at it. As usual, every close play is looked at in the dugout.
Players will hold up for a moment. There's the big curveball on a 3-2 pitch. And Bandy's throw to third.
Yeah, the red guy running to third base. Not a very good throw. A little high, and at this point Mike McClinsky calls him out.
Shaw was having to hold his position for a moment, racing to third to get the throw. And the Pirates are,
how much time do they get?
they're trying to get as many angles as they can, and now I think they want to go to a challenge. So they will challenge this. This will be a big call.
An interesting challenge. If you lose it, you don't have any more, and the pitcher's coming up. Okay.
If it is overturned, it'll be second and third with 2 outs. Mike Winters, the crew chief, and the calling umpire, Mike McClinsky, are on this one.
Now, even if the Pirates win this challenge and it's iffy, you got the pitcher coming up with 2 outs.
So it's in the hands of the replay center in New York. There are umpires assigned. They are unnamed umpires, but they are assigned to this game. Also a supervisor in there as well. And I'm sure a lot of eyes are looking at this play. It's got a chance to be overturned, it looks like.
An interesting look. I almost in slow motion that whole play. David Freese, it took him a long time to get going, and Jeff Bandy a little bit surprised that he took off. He, a good throw. He's going to be out easily, but the throw was high.
That's the best look at it, and it did look like Freese got a hand in there. If it is overturned, it'll be the first steal of the year for David Freese. Give one to Cervelli as well. Freese hasn't even attempted a stolen base this season until now. Meanwhile, Davies is continuing to throw on the mound. He has seen the replay on the big board as well, and I think in his mind he feels like it's going to be overturned. So
why it's taken so long in New York.
Well, here comes the decision. Out at third base. Well, that might be a break for the Brewers. Not enough evidence to overturn. The call stands. And the inning is over on a strike him out, throw him out, double play. It's a curveball to Jordy Mercer on a 3-2 pitch. Gets a strikeout and a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning.
And it looked like everything was in slow motion except for that dandy of a curveball, 73. And David Freese took a while to get going. High throw. Looked like what we saw in a replay. Looked like he might have been called safe, but that's a risk. I don't know if you take if you're the Pirates. I mean, what do you gain, right? I mean, he's safe. They overturn it. You get a couple of stolen bases. And you got the pitcher coming up. Pretty good chance you're not going to score a run anyway. So now they're out of challenging.
That's a good call. I mean, risk reward there is not much reward. And so the Pirates are out of challenges. Not enough evidence to overturn that call was the description from New York. You know that by the way they call it, the word they use. If they say the call is confirmed, then they're telling you that there is evidence that the call was accurate. If they tell you that the call was, or the call stands, then they're saying there's not enough to overturn the call on the field. So had he been called safe, same would apply. Not enough evidence to overturn that.
So basically no difference.
No difference. Davies leads off. Garrett Cole has racked up the strikeouts tonight. He's got 7 through the first 4 innings. He's given up 1 run, which the Brewers scored in the first. And there's number 8. Twice he has struck out Davies looking. Same pitch, as a matter of fact.
Looks so
back
easy.
to the top of the order.
Seems like it looks so easy for him to catch that outside corner. Hey, tonight's Tavern of the Game winner, MP's Town Tavern in Columbus. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. That's 8 a.m. I just said 8 o'clock. I'm sorry. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Not breakfast time.
Not 8 o'clock tonight. You don't have 25 minutes.
By 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Right.
Got to get on it, though. Santana with 1 away. How are things going on the tavern of the game this year? I feel like they're pretty steady.
Yeah.
How many of the taverns have you actually been to this year? 50%?
Not my backyard has been listed as a tavern of the game. If that was the case, then yes.
There's a base hit to right. Santana singles. Goes the other way, and Domingo with 2 hits tonight.
Yep, one down to third baseline for a double. This one into right field. And just continues to cover the whole field line to line. Santana got one out away from him and able to beat the shift. Harrison can't come up with it.
Santana with 3 hits in the series now, in game 3 of the series. In his second game hitting leadoff. He did it 25 times last year, comfortable in that role. Now it's Thames.
He's one guy that doesn't seem to really bother him where he hits in the lineup. He's the same guy regardless. Some guys try to do different things based on where they're at in the lineup. He'd be more aggressive, less aggressive, but not Santana. Garrett Cole is making some real good pitches on Thames tonight.
He is burning off the Hall of Fame edges. Outside corner at the knees fastballs at 96, 97 miles an hour. And he rides one upstairs this time, and Thames missed it. Eric's having a pretty good series. He has 4 hits in the series. Made the last out last night. You'd like to see the numbers with runners in scoring position start to rise. It's really the only blemish on his line. He's been a streaky hitter, but he has 23 bombs, tied for 5th in the National League. Thames last homered on the 4th of July against Baltimore, hit 2 that day to give him 23. They come in bunches for Eric Thames,
and he's due for a nice stretch.
1-2 the count. The power numbers for Thames about the same as they were last year playing in Korea. He was the most valuable player in the KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization, 2 years ago. That was a year he had 47 homers, drove in 140, and hit 381. Bouncing ball, laying out for it. Freeze gets it out at second and cannot get the out at first.
Yeah, nice play by Jordy Mercer. Wow. That was actually David Freeze on the shift. Yeah, stretched out, able to get the lead runner, almost turned it into a double play. Look at Freeze where he is at the shortstop position. It dives, able to flip it over to Mercer for the potential double play. That would have been a 5 to 6 to 3. Now you see those more often these days.
Excellent play by Freeze to get the second out. Otherwise, you're looking at first and second and only 1 away. Now 2 men are gone, and here comes Aguilar, who's 2 for 2 against Cole. Aguilar has not been retired in this series. He's 3 for 3, making his first start tonight. With Braun out of the lineup, Thames into left field, and Aguilar gets a call at first. One ball, 1 strike. Aguilar takes.
Curved ball right on the inside corner. Kind of buckled his knees and able to drop it right at the bottom of the strike zone. Check it out.
He's got it all going, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's got all of his off-speed pitches working. He's throwing 97, 98 miles an hour.
1-2 the count. Aguilar swings and misses. 98 with fastball outside corner. And Aguilar is not happy. Inning is over. Brewers strand a runner.
The trade deadline rumors continue to swirl. Sonny Gray just continues to perform for the A's. 6 1/3 innings pitched for him, just 2 earned runs allowed, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts for him. He picked up his 6th one of the season. You see over his last 5, he's gone 4-1. The earned run average just 162, and opponents hitting just 155 against him. And the big trade last night, the Yankees acquired Todd Frazier, the third baseman, and David Robertson. Kind of a full circle moment for Todd Frazier. If you remember, in 1998, when he was just 12 years old, he had won the Little League World Series with his hometown, Toms River, New Jersey, and was at Yankee Stadium. Stood out for the national anthem with Derek Jeter. So kind of a return home. He said he's looking forward to being a Yankee.
Yeah, how about that? Everybody thought Frazier was going to be headed to the Red Sox. That was the team that had the dire need at third base. Designating for assignment Pablo Sandoval, who looks like he might sign with the Giants now. Yep, it is a lot to think about right now as Garrett Cole leads off, flies to right for the first out.
Yankees, I think, just didn't want to make sure that he didn't go to Boston.
Well, and the Yankees have a need at first base. Remember, they traded Tyler Webb to the Brewers for Garrett Cooper, who was down in AAA. And I think they're ready for an impact bat to play first base, which Frazier will do, can do, and will do. And that is a pretty big blow to the Red Sox, not to be able to land Frazier.
Yeah.
Who will be a free agent at season's end. He's a rental. Starling Marte with 1 out. Takes a strike.
Yeah, that was a big call, you know, that revert, you know, holding up that out call at third base. That way Zach Davies had the pitcher leading off. It's the first time he's been able to retire the leadoff hitter in 4 innings.
And now Marte bounces to Shaw. There is out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. Always great when you can start an inning against the opposing pitcher. That usually helps you get on your way. Josh Harrison now with 2 away. Harrison has been on twice. A couple of singles, had an infield hit in the first, and then a clean single to center field in the third inning. In the air, right field, routine for Santana. And Zach Davies rolling right along here. One run is in for the Pirates. It is unearned. Still 1-1.
In Pittsburgh, a 1-1 game as we head to the 6th, and the Brewers Community Foundation encourages all of the fans to participate in the 50-50 raffle. One winner will take home a nice cash prize, and the other 50% will support the community. So well done to all those who participate in the 50-50 raffle. You'll have your next opportunity to do that when we return home at the end of the month to play the Cubs. In our minor league report, a new addition to the Timber Rattlers, the Brewers' first-round draft pick from just a few weeks ago, the 9th overall pick, Keston Hiura, has been called up to Appleton, and you see what he was able to do in rookie ball in Arizona. A .435 average, 12 extra base hits for him, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs. So he's making his debut with the Timber Rattlers. Eric Sogard is also making a minor league rehab assignment there over the next 2 days. So it'll be fun to keep track of Hiura, see if he continues to hit there. And remember when we got to meet him, BA, he said hitting's the easy part.
That's right. That was our booth interview. I've never heard anybody say that in the game of baseball.
But you know what? He's right. For him, I mean, look at the way he's swinging the bat.
He's hit everywhere he's ever been.
Right.
Best hitter in college. Brewers drafted him this year 9th overall, and he's already hit his way to the Midwest League. Who's a bigger draw right now, Eric Sogard or Keston Hiura?
Yeah, no kidding. Kid can hit.
We'll look forward to a report from you, Eric Sogard, when you come back. Sogard's hoping to be back by the weekend in Philly if everything goes well. Travis Shaw breaks his bat, and a 1-hopper to second. Out number 1 for Garrett Cole. We got an old-fashioned pitchers duel going right now. Two guys doing it in very different ways.
Right. Yeah, Garrett Cole, although his breaking ball has been equally as good as Davies, but you're talking about maybe 6-7 miles an hour faster with a fastball. Cole has been all over the corners with that big fastball. So has Davies.
Cole has 9 strikeouts. That is a season high for him. 12 is his career best.
That's a pretty big speed differential to be aware of if you're a Brewers hitter tonight. I mean, he's 99 he's topped out at, and the curveball as low as 77.
Hernan Perez at the plate with 1 away. He's 0 for 2 tonight against Cole. Now check that story out Todd Rosiak did on Perez in the Journal Sentinel. Got into some really interesting topics, and we've talked about it before on our broadcast. The fact that Perez spends a lot of time and has spent a lot of time in his career learning English, and he speaks very well as he grounds to third. Talks a little bit about the importance of it and how he's encouraged other Spanish-speaking players to do the same. And it's a fascinating topic. We're fortunate because Sophia is fluent in Spanish. It can be a different world for these guys who come over to the States. The Brewers have an academy set up in the Dominican Republic, and not only do these young kids who they sign at 16, 17 years old play baseball, but they learn English. They actually have an English teacher, and they go through classes. They go through baseball language. They go through, you know, all these various things, how to balance a checkbook. And so it gives these guys a great opportunity to get a head start. Brewers also have a Spanish translator on staff as well, Carlos Brizuela.
He has done a nice job bringing along some of these Latin players, these young Latin players that the Brewers have. Not that he's very old, but it seems like he's been around a while. Just a good guy to be around. Hernan Perez. Smile on his face. A lot of these guys do. I mean, they appreciate where they're at.
A lot of them going through their first big league season. It's adjustment.
2 up, 2 down for Cole with Jet Bandy at the plate.
And not just on the field too. I mean, the adjustment off the field as well.
Bandy into left field, got jammed a little bit. Long run for Marte, and he runs out of room. A foul ball. 1-2 the count on the Brewer catcher. Well, Pittsburgh is always a very meaningful stop for any Latin players, specifically Puerto Rican players, because of Roberto Clemente. And he is so well honored here various ways. The giant statue out beyond the outfield wall. They've named the bridge after him that brings you from downtown to the ballpark. The right field wall is 21 feet high. That was Clemente's number, 21. So it's a 21-foot high wall to honor the great Roberto Clemente. His presence is still felt very strongly here.
Right.
Talking to Steve Blass, who is the Pirates television analyst, great pitcher in his time as well. And Blass speaks about Clemente with such reverence. There's Steve sitting next to Joe Block, former Brewers announcer. Joe's the younger one on the right.
They look a lot alike.
The ground ball to first. Osuna's got it, and 3 ground ball outs, and Garrett Cole is marching along here. 6 innings, 1 run. Brewers got him in the first. Pirates tied it in the bottom of the first. We're still there. As a matter of fact, baseball has honored Clemente for all time with the Roberto Clemente Award. Charitable acts by Major League Baseball players, and players treat that with a lot of dignity and respect as well. Well, the Brewers and the Pirates are tied at 1 here in Game 3. McCutchen leads off for Pittsburgh. McCutchen, Osuna, and Freeze coming up against Davies, who's given up 1 run, which was an unearned run in the first inning. Has 3 strikeouts. Davies has 1 walk. Jam shot roller. The only man over there is Aguilar, and it's right at him. Out number 1.
Yeah, far and away his best start against Pittsburgh in his career. Pittsburgh over the last few years had knocked him around pretty good. Not tonight though.
How about the pitch count for Davies, by the way? 68 pitches at this point. Garrett Cole, conversely, has 93 pitches.
68 pitches for Davies, 45 of them for strikes.
Here is Osuna now. He bounced into a key double play his last time up. 3-6-3 double play. Cubs have won today. They beat the Braves 8-2 in a day game in Atlanta. 2 back of the Brewers starting play. The Brewers could go back up 2.5 with a win today, and then the Brewers play tomorrow. The Cubs are off. So in an ideal world, the Brewers would love to get out of Pittsburgh with a 3-game lead. Ground ball to short. Arcia coming in. Strong throw for out number 2.
And Zach Davies, as we said when we come on the air, needs to have good location, down and on the corners, and every now and again he's going to come inside. But if he works with too much of that box in there, too many pitches in that strike zone, he's going to get hit around pretty good. But so far tonight, outstanding work on the edges, mixing speeds very well too.
Here's David Freese now. Takes a strike. Freese has made a nice play defensively. Changed the complexion of the inning a little bit on a ground ball by Thames back in the 5th. Freese also has a hit. Had the game-winning hit last night. 2 outs, nobody on. 1 ball, 1 strike on David Freese, a former World Series MVP in his time with the St. Louis Cardinals. Then he went to the Angels. Ended up here in Pittsburgh. 2nd season as a Pirate. Yeah, a little jam shot's going to find its way into right field. He's had 2 of those tonight.
Yeah, putting the bat on the baseball. Both of his hits to right field. Good pitch by Zach Davies. Unfortunately, and Freese able to muscle it into right. This one off the inside corner, and pretty good job of inside outing it is Freese, staying on it. He stands way off the plate. That means he likes to get those arms extended. That's a good spot to pitch him. And dumps it into right with 2 outs.
2-out single will give Gregory Polanco an at-bat in this inning. Dangerous hitter. It's been slumping, but has come out of it as of late. He had a 4-hit game here on Monday. Drove in 2 runs. Had an outfield assist in that game as well. Key throw to the plate. Hurdle's got him hitting down in the order, hitting 6th once again. Back-to-back games hitting 6th. He hit 7th the first night when he had the 4 hits. This is a guy who's hit 3rd and 4th, been a primary run producer for the Pirates at points in his early career. Pittsburgh has one of their best hitters on the bench tonight, Josh Bell. Remember, he was involved in a collision with Thames yesterday. Pirates say he is available tonight, is available to pinch hit.
Man, not sure if that's the reason why he's out of the lineup, because of the collision or the fact that Ozuna has hit Zach Davies pretty well. 2 home runs. Maybe that's why he's at first base.
Polanco signed a big deal prior to this season, a 5-year contract with the Pirates. He's only 25. They are expecting big things out of Gregory Polanco. Last year he delivered on that. He had 22 homers, drove in 86.
Yeah.
His numbers aren't anywhere close to that pace this year.
Pirates aren't afraid to pass out big deals, are they? Do that quite a bit with the young players.
Think about the Jose Tabata deal. Remember that?
Big one.
That was a shocker. 2-1 to count. 3-1 now.
And if you wonder who that is, that's the point, right?
Well, he got an expiring contract in McCutchen. Most likely he'll be in another uniform next year. He's having a great year. Pirates still trying to determine if they should trade some of these pieces and build up their farm system, or in a pennant race add some pieces. We'll see. There's a ground ball. 3 infielders on that side, and Arcia will make the play to end the inning. And Davies has been strong through 6. Only 1 unearned run on his line tonight.
Series, top of the 7th. Hey, get live broadcast, scoring updates, breaking news, and more right at your fingertips with MLB.com At Bat, the official app of the Brewers. Download At Bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
Now the Brewers have Keon Broxton leading off. Let's check in with Sophia for more on Keon.
Well, for Broxton, it's been a struggle at the plate lately. Coming into tonight's game, over his last 15 games, he'd been just 3 for 45 and hitless in his last 10. And so I talked to Broxton just about how he's feeling, and he admitted, especially yesterday, he was just overly aggressive, and he was especially frustrated with that second inning at bat. He said to have 2 on, and he said, you know, he did not throw 1 single strike, and I swung at every pitch. And so he said, I feel like I've just gotten a little bit out of my approach and trying to do too much. So he feels maybe he's pressing a little too much at the plate, so trying to dial it back in, doing a lot of work in the cage with Darnell Pujols and Jason Lane, going back to the pool noodles. He also says he feels like he needs to stand up straighter at the plate. Felt he's been hunching over, and that's just affecting kind of his strike zone awareness.
Well, it's that old saying, maybe he's one at bat closer to a hot streak, and that's the approach you have to take with it.
It's all about seeing the baseball. A lot of times, you know, the best thing you can do is take pitches, maybe draw a walk at some point. You can't always swing your way out of slumps. Most of the time you have to see the ball first, wait back. Nothing wrong with getting jammed once in a while. I mean, hitter coaches will tell you, you go up there in this at bat, try to get jammed. And you'll be amazed that you don't get jammed. You're right on the baseball.
It's tough breaking out of a slump against a guy who's throwing 97, 98 mile-an-hour fastballs on the black, right on the edges. Hung a curveball that time, and Broxton pops it up. Polanco's got it for out number 1. And Broxton's 0 for 3. Suddenly, Garrett Cole has retired 6 straight.
I don't think we've seen Garrett Cole any better against the Brewers than he's been tonight. I mean, curveballs, sliders, he's thrown a couple of changeups, and he has been burning off that outside corner with regularity to just about every Brewer hitter. You just can't hit that pitch. There's a slider on the outer half of the plate right there, the fastball up. I mean, he's mixing and matching, and you know, with that big velocity, you can get away with a lot of the plate, but he has not. He has been on the edges. This is about as good as we've seen Garrett Cole.
Those are the numbers for Cole. A season high 9 strikeouts. He's 3 off a career high. No balls and a strike on Arcia. And there's that pitch on the edge again. That's the one that has made his night tonight. He's hit that spot, feels like, on every hitter tonight.
Every time that Cervelli sets up away, he's either right on that edge or a little bit off.
No balls, 2 strikes. And he got him with a breaking ball. Cervelli will have to secure it at first. He does so. And strikeout number 10, a new season high for Garrett Cole. It's the second out of the inning.
And 10 strikeouts, no walks for Garrett Cole tonight.
Well, Craig Counsell is going to let it ride with Zach Davies. He will bat here in the 7th inning.
Throwing well, 2 outs, no one on. Yeah, let him stay in there.
Cole, it feels like, is nearing the end. He's up over 100 pitches. His spot is due up 3rd in the bottom of this inning. Probably will be his last inning. Nobody in the Pittsburgh bullpen, and you see only Lee Tunnell, the bullpen coach, doing a little grooming there in the Brewers bullpen. A little ground ball right back to the mound. Cole is through 7. He has retired 8 straight. Won 1 game. We go to the home 7th. Is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer.
Hey, join the crew for the official tapping of the Bearded Brewer IPA on Thursday, August 10th. The special ticket package includes a 12-ounce sample of the limited run craft beer created by Eric Dames, Corey Knable, and Oliver Drake, plus a commemorative pint glass. Visit brewers.com/theme night. Nice.
You gonna give that one a try, Rock?
Brewers and Twins, and it's Bearded Brewer IPA night.
B-E-E-R-D-E-D. Bearded.
I hope they save me one for after the game, not before.
I might encourage you to have a few during the game. That would be fun. That day's coming on. For some of us.
Will you join me?
Davies back on the mound. He'll start it up again. He's working in the 7th. He's got the bottom of the order coming up. Cervelli, Mercer, and then most likely a pinch hitter. Garrett Cole's night is probably over. And Cervelli with a base hit. On base for the 3rd time tonight on the first pitch he sees of the 7th. It's a leadoff single. 2 hits and a walk for the Pittsburgh catcher tonight.
Yeah, pretty good pitch by Davies down and away. Cervelli right off the end of the bat. Not a whole lot you can do about that one.
That springs the Brewers bullpen into action, and Counsell calling down to relay the plan here. Pirates have a switch hitter available in Max Moroff and Josh Bell, and they've got their best pinch hitter, the left-handed hitting John Jaso, available as well. There's Jaso. He's already moved on deck. So Bandy makes a trip to the mound, buys a little time for the bullpen. Jacob Barnes is getting loose. Normally the Brewers setup man.
Been a while since he's been on the mound. Saturday.
Yeah, he and Knebel have not pitched since Saturday, the last time the Brewers won a game. They've dropped 3 in a row. Jordy Mercer now. 1 for 2 tonight. Mercer was part of a big swing moment in the 4th. They strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning. Mercer got a 3-2 curveball that he missed. Runner goes. Hit and run is on. Ground ball to second. Flip to Arcia. Jump throw to first. Oh, what a play. Orlando Arcia with a leapfrog.
Well, he's something else. I mean, that is not an easy throw. He hits the bag, jumps up, and they're able to make a good throw to first base. And Cervelli running on the pitch. Mercer trying to shoot that hole, but puts it right where Perez is. Look at the jump throw by Arcia. That is incredible.
Touch of class right there. That was so good, and the feed by Perez was in a perfect spot for Arcia to do his acrobatic work.
Yep, jumps over Cervelli and makes a good throw to first base.
It just makes you smile.
Yeah, they're both smiling about it. Yep, that was a nice play. Good job, buddy. Yeah, we work on that.
Perez not even looking at him. So 2 outs on a nifty double play. 4-6-3 to double play, and now it's going to be Josh Bell pinch hitting, and a swing and a miss. Close the book on Garrett Cole.
Yeah, good to get him out of there.
7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Strikes out a season high 10, and had his best inning in his last inning. He threw just 10 pitches in the 7th inning, 9 of them for strikes. Retired the side in order. 0-2 pitch.
And it wasn't just the velocity and a strikeout. He only allowed 3 fly ball outs. 2 flies to right and a pop out to first base. Everything else strikeouts and ground balls.
To the count. Bell, one of the more productive rookies in the big leagues this year. He's actually had some success as a pinch hitter. He's got 8 hits and 16 at bats, including a homer. 0-2 pitch, fouls it away.
Yeah, he can take some really strange swings, but you know, all through that, just trying to get a piece of a good pitch, and he can hit him a ton. Just takes one.
Oh, and 2 again. Changeup misses low. In the 8th inning, the Brewers will have Santana, Thames, and Aguilar coming up top of the order. The Brewers still have Ryan Braun available tonight. He did not start. He's available off the bench. VR, a switch hitter. You got Phillips, the left-handed hitter. So a full complement with Davies going this far. There's a called strike 3 inside corner. Ring him up. And Davies works around a leadoff single and put another one on the highlight reel for Orlando Arcia. 4-6-3 double play. Special defensive player right there. Orlando Arcia. What a play. Out there for a little bit. Maybe after a few of those home brews, that would go over a lot better.
Yeah, you know what? That's going to come to me after I get back to the hotel. That was a good one, though.
You see Hernan Perez, Arcia, Broxton, they're all looking at the photographs and the replays of that play by Arcia. Even impressed himself there.
Another day at the office for Arcia. He's not really excited about it. Everybody else is, as Juan Nicasio takes over for Garrett Cole. I would imagine anybody's going to look good to these Brewer hitters other than Garrett Cole. He was outstanding tonight. 47th appearance for the hard-throwing right-hander and a .255 earned run average.
Zach Davies matching him pitch for pitch and continues on in this game. He is through 7 right now. Cole is out after 7. Davies, you might see him go back out for the 8th inning. The Brewers bullpen has quieted down now. Davies' pitch count is in great shape, only 89 thus far. Santana sends one to right, had a good sound to it. Polanco is back, and there she goes. Domingo Santana. A solo home run to start the inning.
Well, that might change what Craig Counsell does out on the mound in the 8th inning. Again, anybody but Garrett Cole's got to be looking good to this Brewers offense, right? As good as he was, Nicasio with a big fastball. And check out Santana. Here it is. Slider, actually, 86 miles an hour up out of the plate. And he knocks it out of here to the opposite field. He knew it right away.
A high towering fly ball over that 21-foot wall in right field, and a solo homer by Santana gives the Brewers the lead. Domingo now with 16 home runs on the year. Every homer he hits establishes a new career best for him.
Yeah, I hate to keep going back to it, but how many hanging sliders did Garrett Cole give the Brewers? 0. And his first breaking pitch ends up about belt high out over the plate. Santana deposits it into the right field seats.
Left the bat at 105 miles an hour. Santana's 16th homer. 403 feet the distance on the Powerball home run leaderboard.
The one thing about the bullpen right now, Barnes had been loosening up a little bit. He's probably ready to go. It's not going to take him too much. Maybe with an out or so, might get back up. I'd be stunned to see Zach Davies back out on the mound.
Yeah, it might be Barnes Knable time now with a 1-run lead. We'll see. Especially because the Pirates will be back at the top of their order. Now Thames down the right field line. That is a foul ball. Oh, he just missed the line. Not a lot of room between the line and the wall down there. That would have been extra bases for Thames, but a long loud strike, and it's 1-2. Well, Davies still in a posture on the bench, sitting next to his catcher as if he's going back out. We shall see.
Yeah.
It'll be the 4th time through the batting order if he does return.
Picked a good day to have his best outing, because normally the Brewers score a ton of runs for him. Not tonight. Crickets out there right now.
Brewers have had 3 double plays in the game for Davies. Here's Thames into left field, slicing. Marte is out of room. Count remains at 1-2. He's flirting with the lines. Nicasio working Eric Thames up in the strike zone.
And the Brewers have seen more pitches up in the zone against Nicasio than they did 7 innings with Cole.
One and 2 the count. And one is down, and Thames is down. A swing and a miss. Tough night for Thames. He's 0 for 4. So 1 away in the 8th. And here comes Aguilar, who drove in the first run for the Brewers in the first inning. Had an RBI single. It was an infield hit. Took a diving play in that inning just to knock the ball down, and ticketed for center field, but on the play Santana was able to score. The Brewers got off to a good start against Cole. The run the Pirates scored came in the bottom of the first, and it was unearned. An error by Arcia, who has more than made up for it. Well, one of the prettiest double plays of the year, and he's had plenty of them. Jam shot roller out to short, and Mercer makes the play for out number 2. Well, the Pirates are back at the top of their order, so Marte, Harrison, and McCutchen are coming up. And activity begins in the Brewer bullpen now with 2 outs. Jacob Barnes, who was fully heated up and ready to come in last inning. Knable in the distance, starting to loosen up. Here's Travis Shaw. Oh, and 2 to Shaw. Nicasio deals. Shaw fights it off foul.
And trying to go up the ladder a little bit upstairs, but Shaw able to get a piece of it. That's not where he likes it, up there. He went for a mistake down.
We saw Nicasio Monday, and he was electric. I mean, unhittable in the Game 1 win for the Pirates. No balls, 2 strikes on Shaw. And he got him. Foul tip right into the middle of the catcher. Inning is over, but Domingo Santana hitting leadoff tonight for the 2nd consecutive game. Destroys one to right, a hanging slider, 400+ foot homer. And the Brewers lead 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Brewers making changes here. You see Hernan Perez is now in left field. That is because Jonathan Villar has taken over at second base. Aguilar is out, so not sure if this is an injury situation or not, but Villar's at second, forcing Perez to left, Thames over at first. And Aguilar is out. Sophia's down there near the dugout. We'll try to get an answer.
Yeah, just tightening up the defense, I believe. Getting Thames out of left field. You get Perez, who is a better defensive outfielder.
And Jacob Barnes is on the mound. So Davies is done 7 innings, matching his longest outing of the year. And the terrific setup man for the Brewers, Jacob Barnes, is in.
Yeah, picked up a win against the Phillies on Saturday night. A scoreless inning. He's been unscored upon in his last 8 outings.
Marte takes a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marte, Harrison, McCutcheon. If anybody gets on, the cleanup hitter Osuna. Pirates have already used Josh Bell. They still have their best pinch hitter available, Jaso. Checked his swing. 2-1 now.
I guess you could say the same thing about Zach Davies exiting the ball game. He really had the Pirates bottled up. So I imagine the Pirates are glad to see Davies gone.
7 innings, 1 run unearned for Davies.
A tremendous outing by both starters tonight.
2 balls and a strike on Marte. In there, strike 2. Davies' earned run average drops from 5.08 to 4.76. And he's got a chance to win this game. It would be his 12th if the Brewers can hang on. He would go to 12-4 with a 4.76 ERA. Trailing only Clayton Kershaw for wins. A swing and a miss. Barnes strikes him out. Nasty slider from Barnes gets Marte for the first out of the inning. Well, Davies was part of the big play defensively on Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game.
Yeah, this could have given the Pirates a lead, but quick as a cat off the mound, able to barehand it, flip to Bandy for the out. There you go, Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game.
That was a special play by the Brewer pitcher. You don't see many pitchers with the athleticism to make that one. Saved a run at the time. There's a strike to Harrison. Barnes with a fresh live arm, having not pitched in 3 days. He's got the power breaking stuff going already. There's the power fastball at 99 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's feeling good. It's not often Barnes can have had this much time off. I guess that's a good thing and a bad thing, right?
Yeah, especially coming off the All-Star break. Barnes and Knebel pitching back-to-back days after the break, after 4 days off, and they've been off ever since. That's a nice long window to try to recoup a little bit.
Of course, the downside of that means that the Brewers have been losing and they haven't needed to use them. But there is a silver lining to all of it. These guys are fresh.
1-2 the count to Harrison. These are scary hitters coming up for the Pirates. These guys hit high velocity as well as anyone in the big leagues. Harrison, McCutchen, they will get on an upper 90s fastball.
And just don't make a mistake with that cutter. Leave it down the middle of the plate. Down and away, you're all right.
Harrison with the big home run to tie the game last night. 2 for 3 tonight. Barnes trying to put him away here for the second out. 2-2 the count. And a ground ball to short. Arcia's right there. And Thames puts the tag on him as Harrison goes in. And the out is called.
Pretty good play by Harrison.
Was a really good slide. He almost got in there. Most guys just run into a tag. Harrison saw it all the way.
Yep, he realized that Thames was coming off the bag, and right at the last minute he goes down, and according to the first base umpire Ryan Blakeney, Thames got the tag on him. Looks like he did. He got him across the chest.
Took a hard spill. Yeah, right there.
Nice play by Eric Thames.
Yeah, needed that one. Can you imagine an error putting a runner on with McCutchen coming up? That's a big play by Thames. Dinged him up a little bit, that tag.
That's the kind of slide that you can jam an ankle pretty easily.
So here is McCutchen now with 2 outs. 2-1 Brewers lead. Santana with a home run in the top of this inning. Two and nothing on McCutchen.
Throw him a changeup there. What was that? 90 miles an hour.
I'm going to call that a backup slider.
I'm telling you, 90. That backed up a lot. It actually backed up McCutchen.
I've never seen him throw a changeup, but maybe.
I don't know what it was.
Maybe he broke one out.
It's a mystery pitch. Unknown.
On the ground. Arcia ranges over. He's got it. Throw to first in time. Boy, look at this kid play some D. Orlando Arcia with 2 highlight reel plays in this game. cuts down the speedy McCutchen and frankly made it look easy. Wow, what a player.
Never take this for granted, folks. Not that easy.
Couple of innings has put together two of the best plays of the year. He just cut down McCutchen on a spinning throw to first, and the Brewers go to the ninth inning up 2-1. Miller Lite, what's on tap? We'll do it again tomorrow morning for you in the Central Time Zone. 11 a.m. we're on the air for Brewers Live. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Jimmy Nelson, Jamison Taillon, two hard-throwing right-handers, up-and-comers. And the Brewers and the Pirates will play the final game of the series. Brewers are hoping to be in a position to split this 4-game series.
And Jimmy's been good in his career against Pirates. 5-3 career.
Hernan Perez on the first pitch, sends one into deep center. McCutchen has a play on it, and he's got it for the first out. One pitch, one out. A.J. Schugel on the mound for the Pirates in this ninth.
Yeah, we saw him in last night's ball game. A scoreless inning. Gave up a hit, struck out a batter. Only his 4th appearance so far this year. Schugel got called up on July 7th from AAA.
Here's Jed Bandy. Takes a strike from Schugel. Bandy back up from AAA Colorado Springs. Had a hit his first time up. I beg your pardon, his second time up. He's 1 for 3. That single off Garrett Cole. Bandy was hitting over 300 in AAA. Made the most of his time back in AAA. Said the game slowed down for him a little bit. He tried to slow the game down a little bit as well.
You can do that when you go down to the minor leagues, and that's what I think that everybody was hoping for. Bandy to get his stroke back. He was swinging the bat really well early in the year.
Bandy still has maybe one of the best at bats of the year. That showdown with Zach Greinke at Miller Park that resulted in a double off the wall.
And that was with the bases loaded.
1-2 to Bandy, and down he goes.
It's a good changeup from Schugel. That's his best pitch.
Well, these two defensive plays by Orlando Arcia are going to find the highlight reels tonight.
Just the athleticism and the throwing arm. I mean, in the air completely, and a good throw to first. And this one's spinning around. Not many do this one any better than Arcia. Able to put that ball right into the mitt of Eric Thames. Very accurate with that throw when he spins around like that.
How many kids are going to go try the the jump throw by Arcia. It's hard enough to make a jump throw, but to catch a ball, get a grip, and then throw it with that kind of force all while you're in the air is what was most impressive about that double play. And credit Perez as well for teeing him up perfectly.
Yeah, gave him a nice high flip around chest high. If he puts it down a little bit lower, that play doesn't happen. So both of those guys doing a good job.
It's almost like Perez knew Arcia was going to go up top. Some shortstops will go to the side of the base, go in front of the base. I mean, going up over the runner is probably the last option, but it felt like Perez knew what Arcia wanted, and he set him up just like a lob.
And if that's the case, think about it. How many times has Perez been at second base this year? Not often. Handful of games. They work at it before the game starts in batting practice. They work on that stuff.
2 balls and a strike. Broxton takes a ball. 3-1 now.
See if they give him the green light, maybe break him out of this. Fastball down the middle, maybe he can put a charge into one.
They did just that earlier this year back in May in Arizona, and it did get him on a hot streak. He hit a home run on a 3-0 pitch. And he's got the green light, fouls it away. Good call.
That's why they do that.
Brewers have a lead late in Pittsburgh. Took the lead on a Domingo Santana home run in the 8th. Leadoff homer in the 8th inning off Nicasio. Full count to Keon, and it's low, ball 4. A 2-out walk issued by Schugel.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, see the baseball. That's all part of it. Watch the ball into the glove. Get 2 eyes on it. Maybe that'll help next time up.
So it is Arcia who will bat. Hitless tonight. Lined out in the 4th inning to right. He's 0 for 3. Arcia, with his great defensive prowess, has given the Brewers a lot more offensively than they ever dreamed this early in his career. Just 22 years of age. First full season in the majors. Got a taste last year, a couple of months in the big leagues last season. Went from a defensive right field hitter trying to make contact seemingly overnight to a hitter with a little presence at the plate. Swings hard.
And taking pitches middle in and driving them into left field. I think that all that early in the season was by design. All prompted by Darnell Cole to keep him on the baseball. And it's paid off.
And he punches out into right field, a base hit. And Broxton's not going to slow down. He's on his way to third. The throw is high. And now Arcia is caught in a rundown. Here comes Broxton to the plate. The throw. Now Broxton is in a rundown. And the inning is going to end between home and third. Well, so the Brewers, instead of first and third and 2 outs, run themselves out of the inning. And that's going to set up Corey Knebel, who will enter in a save situation with a 1-run lead. Baseball tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. This has been a thriller tonight. 2-1. The Brewers have the lead as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Domingo Santana's home run in the 8th is the difference right now. And here comes Corey Knebel. 16 saves on the year. The all-star closer, trying to nail down number 17 and get the Brewers back on the win column.
Yeah, Knebel picked up number 16 on Saturday against the Phillies. A scoreless 9th inning. Gave up a hit, but a couple of strikeouts.
His numbers on the year incredible. 79 strikeouts, 44 in the 3rd innings, and that 162 earned run average.
Pirates have been playing well. They've had a couple of walk-offs here on this homestand. They got the Cardinals twice. They have come back twice against the Brewers in the first 2 games. Knebel trying to put the lid on the jar. Jaso on the first pitch. High and deep to center field. Broxton is back. He leaps and he makes the catch. Keon Broxton goes high off the wall for out number 1.
There you go. Nobody was sure if he had it or not. He had it in the glove. He just held it there. I'll tell you. I think Corey Knebel lost a couple of heartbeats right there. First pitch, Jaso gives it a ride. Check out Broxton measuring that one. Perfectly timed leap. And hauls it in.
Former teammate says, "What are you doing out there?"
No, he said, "Show it." Show the ball. Do you have it? Yes, he does. Wouldn't have been a home run. Certainly extra bases.
What a play that was. First out of the inning. Knebel fired up. So now David Freese.
There is a lot of ballparks in the big leagues that's going to leave. Not this one.
I think maybe all of them with the exception of San Francisco. Huh?
Right, yeah.
David Freese with one away and a swing and a miss. He put a fastball right by him.
He's a guy you don't want to hang a curveball.
Well, the defense the Brewers have played in this game has been exceptional. There was an error that led to a run in the first inning by Arcia, that unearned run on Davies' line. But there have been a number of highlight reel plays. Broxton, Arcia twice. Zach Davies made a great play off the mound, cutting off a run.
Thames made a good play on a tag at first base.
1-2 pitch, a little bit low. 2-2 now on Freese. Crowd is quiet. Knebel deals and a curveball missed. Now it's 3-2. Got a dangerous hitter coming up next in Polanco.
And to say nothing about the guy at the plate.
Big pitch for Knebel. Walking a tightrope with a 1-run lead. The payoff. Curveball missed. Freese didn't bite. Most do. Freese is on with a 1-out walk.
And he's probably going to get a pinch runner. David Freese, one of the slowest guys on the Pirates.
Max Moroff will pinch run. He carries the tying run.
One of the fastest guys on the Pirates.
And so the plot thickens here in Pittsburgh. Knebel with a runner on. Now he'll face Gregory Polanco. He is not your ordinary 6th place hitter. This is a premium bat in the Pirates lineup that has had a down year this year. He had 4 hits against the Brewers on Monday. Part of the Pirates' DNA as a team is to be aggressive on the base paths. Knebel is a guy you can run on. He does have a very good move to first, but he takes a while to unload it.
Yep. Bandy, good arm behind home plate.
Brewers lead by a run. And Polanco takes a strike.
Staying with that curveball. Ordinarily, when Knebel has a long layoff like he's had, the curveball is the pitch that is affected most. Talking about the command of it. He just threw one for a strike.
Moroff has been a big base stealer in the minor leagues. Had a 20 stolen base year one year, 17 another year. Do they dare send him with Polanco at the plate? 1 ball, 1 strike. And a swing and a miss. Wow.
Tough to get to that upstairs. 97.
Let it loose at 97. Both players, pitcher and hitter, and it's 1 and 2.
Yeah, Polanco, good low ball hitter. He chased upstairs.
Moroff with a big lead at first. Stays put. Polanco gets jammed and a pop-up foul. 98 with that fastball. 1 and 2 the count remains.
Moroff might stay put with Polanco at the plate, but if Cervelli comes up, more of a singles hitter, you might see him try and steal a base.
Also opens up some room over there with Thames holding on the base runner. Knebel's tough to pull with the fastball. 1 and 2 the count. We'll do it again. Long pause by Knebel. Here he comes, and it's down and in. Back to the heat. 2 and 2 the count. Cervelli due next. Well, Knebel could use a strikeout here. Would add to his major league record for at least 1 strikeout in consecutive appearances. 2-2 and a swing and a ground ball through, base hit. Moroff on his way to third. Gregory Polanco has singled, and the Pirates are knocking at the door now with runners at the corners.
Yep, the high fastball. This time he's able to center on it. Domingo Santana very, very deep in right field. There's no way Moroff was not going to get to third. Now the tying run 90 feet away. Fastball again. This one not up high enough, and with a big hole between first and second. Polanco doing a good job pulling it.
That's an impressive piece of hitting right there. Polanco puts runners at first and third with 1 out. Tying run at third, winning run at first. And Francisco Cervelli at the plate, who has not been retired tonight. A walk and 2 hits. The Brewers are going to sell out for a double play here. Run the risk of allowing the tying run to score, but if they get a ground ball to an infielder, they're going to try to turn 2 and end the game. Cervelli had a good cut.
Well, you really can't bring the infield in with a man at first base. A little flare over the infield is going to give you a lot of problems. You really can't defend, sell out to avoid the tying run. That's the guy, at first base. That ends the game. He ends the game. If you open up your defense to allow him to get to third base on a base hit, then you're in trouble.
Knebel deals an 0-1 inside for a ball. If there was ever a time for a strikeout for Knebel, it is right here and now. Anxious moments for the Brewer manager.
And a lot of signs being flashed down at third base. A lot of different things that could happen here. Stolen base, squeeze, who knows? Cervelli handles the bat pretty well.
First and third, one away. And Cervelli chops it foul. 1-2 the count. Sticking with the fastball is Knebel. Knebel has at least one strikeout in 45 games this year. All 45 he's pitched.
I think he'd rather get a double play ball.
He'll take that one.
And forget the strikeout. That'd be nice, but double play be better.
Now Bandy wants to start over. Brewers took the lead in the top of the 8th on a Santana homer. Pirates are threatening here in the bottom of the 9th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Cervelli, a little flare into right. That's going to fall. A base hit. And this game is tied. A jam shot. 2-2 game now as Cervelli delivers his 3rd hit.
97 in on the corner. Good pitch, but Cervelli able to fight it off. Blown save for Knebel. I mean, not a whole lot you can do about that. I mean, that's just a pretty good piece of hitting on a 2-strike pitch. Dumping it into right field to tie the game.
Well, when you're going well, things like that happen, and the Pirates get a flare to fall to tie the game.
Now the walk to freeze with 1 out. Those are the things you can't do.
Now Jordy Mercer, winning run at second base. Brewers have had leads in all 3 games of this series. Pirates won the first 2 comeback wins for Pittsburgh. They've come back again tonight. To Mercer. Knebel can't find the range with that curveball.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's been his bread and butter all season long. He's thrown a couple for strikes, but has not been able to throw it consistently.
2-0 pitch is a fastball fouled away.
And when he has these long layoffs, that's the case. I mean, it's been the case every time he's had, 3-4 days off. That's the pitch that suffers.
So Adam Frazier on deck. He'll be next, barring a game ender or a double play to end the inning. Two on, 1 out. Only run that matters at second base. And a swing and a miss by Mercer. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, that's where he wanted to throw that pitch to Cervelli a little bit further up. He left it down enough for him to be able to get a bat on it. Still had it on the inside corner, but not up enough.
Brewers have good arms in the outfield. A little foul ball. 97 with a fastball upstairs. Knebel had a blown save the Saturday before the All-Star break against the Yankees. Took a loss that game. Walk-off home run by Clint Frazier. 2-2 the count. 3-2 now. Well, somehow Knebel's got to try to turn the tide here. It's all against him.
Well, he's pretty much resided to throwing fastballs for strikes. He can't find the curveball.
1 out. And a payoff pitch, never mind. Inside move. Just to see if Polanco was on the run with 1 out.
And seriously doubt he's going to be running. Knebel, a strikeout pitcher.
Here's a big pitch. 3-2. And a fastball popped up. VR makes a catch. Infield fly rule was the call. And the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 outs in a 2-2 game. And now it's going to be Adam Frazier.
It's a pretty good bat to come off the bench. He's a good, tough guy to strike out.
Frazier had a walk-off hit against the Cardinals Sunday afternoon. And the last blown save by Knebel came to a Frazier. No relation. He's got 3 hits off the bench this year. Two-2 game, 2 outs in the inning. There's the strike. Fastball in there. Sunday against St. Louis. For the 2nd time over the weekend, the Pirates walk off the Cardinals. And Frazier was the star. Checks his swing. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just got to be careful. Fastball up out over the plate. He loves to flare that ball into left field. Polanco runs pretty well. Not a base burner, but average speed.
Ball and a strike. Frazier fouls it back. Had a better cut. In the outfield, the Brewers have Perez in left. He's got a very strong and accurate arm. Broxton has a strong arm, not quite as accurate as Perez, and then Santana has a cannon in right. Polanco, the runner at 2nd, will be on the move on the crack of the bat. Knebel in a 1-2 count on Frazier. And a curveball fought off foul.
Yeah, that's a dangerous pitch up there. Able to fight it off.
Can't find that curveball right now.
No, he cannot.
Figure if he throws a good one, he'll probably get an out, get a strikeout, but you run the risk.
Hey, you got a pitch to play with. It's a 1-2 count. Maybe try and bounce one.
We'll see what he does. Going back to the heat. Count remains at 1-2. Frazier has been one of the Pirates' best hitting prospects in their minor league system. And he has carved out a spot on this current roster, even with the return of Starling Marte. Another 1-2 pitch coming from Knebel. 2-2 now.
Outfield for the Brewers very shallow. I don't expect Frazier to hit it over their head. Base hit, might have a play at the plate.
Action pitch coming. 2-2, and Frazier in the air to left field. Perez drifting back. He'll have a play, and that will retire the side. But a blown save. Knebel's 5th. Pirates come off the deck. They tie it. We go to extra innings in Pittsburgh. innings as the Pirates get a run. Garrett Cole and Zach Davies both pitched very well. Davies made one of the plays of the game defensively, cutting off a run early in this one. It was tied at 1 when Santana went deep. 8th inning, leadoff homer. Made it 2-1 Brewers. And then Corey Knebel got within 2 outs of a save and a win. And Francisco Cervelli with a little flare to right scores more off to tie it up. A single by Cervelli. Give Knebel credit for getting out of the inning and not allowing the game to end in a walk-off. And now we go to extras. And Tony Watson is on to pitch for Pittsburgh. Bunch of changes for the Pirates defensively. Moroff, who came in to pinch run, will stay in the game to play second. That moves Harrison to third. Jaso, who pinch hit, stays in to play first. And then there is Watson on the mound.
Yeah, we saw him in game 1 of this series. A scoreless inning for Watson. Gave him a couple of hits, a strikeout, but did not allow a run. 44th appearance for Tony Watson, who doesn't seem to be throwing as hard as he used to, but still very effective. A .359 earned run average.
Jonathan Villar will lead off. Entered the game last inning at second base. One thing to think about is the way the inning ended in the 9th. Had a walk with 2 outs by Broxton and then a single by Arcia. And then Arcia got caught off the bag on that single. Got in a rundown. Broxton tried to score. He got in a rundown and was put out to end the inning.
Yeah.
There's a bunt, and it's a good one. Over to third base. Harrison bare hands and throws him out. Wow. Another stellar play defensively in this game. And there's been a bunch of them. Boy, that was something special by Josh Harrison.
Well, and Villar realized he's having a difficult time. See Harrison even with the bag, and I would have bet anything that would not. Pirates wouldn't be able to make a play on that, but it's a tremendous play by Harrison. Look at the throw, able to get something on it, right on the money, and he gets Villar by half a step. Well done.
Yeah, that was Gold Glove caliber right there. Now Santana up with 1 out.
Yeah, he's been playing second base all night. First play, a dandy.
Well, Santana gave the Brewers the lead with a home run in the 8th. He's had a great night at the plate. 3 hits. He's a triple away from the cycle. Doubled in the 1st, singled in the 5th, homered in the 8th. 16 home runs, 51 RBIs now. Two and 1 to count. Now the Pirates in the bottom of the 10th inning will have the top of their order coming up. Marte, Harrison, McCutchen. Brewers trying to get the lead back. Two and 2 now on Santana. It's been a good game, back and forth. Brewers scored in the 1st. Pirates answered in the bottom of the 1st.
Yeah, been good pitching in this series by both teams.
Watson deals. Santana takes a call, strike 3. Fooled him. 2 outs.
Yeah, got him with a slider on the outside corner. A little backdoor slider. Check it out. Catches the edge at 85. Santana knew it.
2 up and 2 down. And here comes Eric Thames now. The lefty on lefty matchup. Remember, Aguilar was removed from the game last inning, which puts the pitcher in that spot, which means Ryan Braun would hit next if Thames can reach. That's a bat the Brewers would love to see hit in this 10th inning. One and two to Thames.
Eric, big power to the opposite field, and get one inside that left field line or left field foul pole. You don't have to hit it all that well. Got to figure Watson's going to work him away.
Cervelli sets up out there, and he got him with a fastball. Inning over. Brewers go quietly in the 10th. Watson with a couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 10th coming, all tied at 2. Brewers and Pirates. Try to get this game to the 11th inning. After the blown save by Knebel, the Brewers and the Pirates tied at 2.
Yeah, Hughes pitched on Monday, first game of this series, tossed a scoreless inning, a hit and a strikeout. Yeah, Hughes has been terrific. I mean, last 19 appearances, that covers 17 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed only 1 run. That's a .51 earned run average. And that covers 13 consecutive scoreless innings.
And he'll have to do the heavy lifting here as well with the top of the order coming up. Marte, Harrison, and McCutchen. Marte in his second game back from an 80-game suspension, PED suspension. Has a hit tonight. He singled in the first. He's 1 for 4. Shift is on for Marte. And a swing and a miss.
And Hughes has been terrific. I mean, the slider, the fastball, is using the fastball up in the zone from time to time. Still a good ground ball pitcher. Extra incentive against the Pirates, I would imagine.
Brewers have a number of former Pirates on their team. Keon Broxton, Hughes, Rob Scahill. One and 1 to Marte. 1 and 2 now.
Nasty slider. He's got good break on it. Late, quick break. Marte had a tough time with that pitch against Barnes.
Hughes was released by the Pirates out of spring training. Signed by the Brewers. 2-2 pitch. Got him. Struck him out on a sinking fastball. Down and in. 1 away in the 10th. Let's check in with Sophia.
Well, Craig Counsell was asked by the Pittsburgh media just what Jared Hughes has meant to the Brewers, and he said obviously the performance has been great with what he's given this team, 13 straight scoreless appearances, but he said also just what he means to the bullpen. He says he's a guy that cares deeply about each member of that bullpen. He says he takes time to make sure that he gets to know them all, checks in with all of them, helps out where he can as a veteran with so many young guys in this bullpen. And he said, you know, he's been in the league a long time, and he said what he's done is he's really gotten better as a pitcher this season, which is really difficult to do. And he said a lot of that has been because he's found a better slider and he's been getting more swing and miss with that pitch.
And the evolution of the game of baseball and how strikes are being called, maybe the strike zone elevated as Harrison into center field. That's well hit. Broxton is on the run, can't get it. And one hops out. That's actually probably a benefit for the Brewers. It's a ground rule double. Would have certainly been a triple for Harrison if it stays in. It's a one-out double, and the Pirates have the winning run at second.
Yeah, gave that slider a pretty good ride. Hughes left that one inside. That's not where you want to leave it, and Josh Harrison hits it hard out there into center field. We've been talking about how shallow Broxton's been playing, not able to get there. And had that ball stayed in play, I agree, that might have been a triple.
So the Wolf at the door again. Jared Hughes will walk McCutchen. Intentional pass to put McCutchen on, which is going to bring Jaso to the plate.
Two guys coming up that did not start. Jaso Moroff on deck.
Jaso's been one of Clint Hurdle's best pinch hitters. This will be a second at bat after he hit one to the wall in center field last inning. That's how the inning began. That great leaping catch up against the wall by Broxton. Winning run at second base. Pirates are trying to win in walk-off fashion for the third time in the last 6 games. Did it twice against the Cardinals, taking 2 out of 3 from St. Louis. They've won the first 2 in this series. One ball, one strike on Jaso.
Well, you got a pitcher out there that can induce a lot of ground balls. That look pretty good right now, but you like to see one of those ground balls right at one of the Brewer infielders. Good speed at second base.
Ball and a strike. Hughes will check the runners. Teammates last year, Jaso and Hughes. Jaso's bounced around a little bit. He's with the Rays, Mariners, Athletics. Second season with Pittsburgh, primarily a pinch hitter. Two balls and a strike. Got a hitter's count, and Hughes will reset it again.
Just trying to keep him close. I mean, Josh Harrison, you never know, he might try and steal a base here. He can run wild a bit on the bases.
Little tapper. Is it off the foot or not? Winters has not made a call yet. That is an out at first base. Now the second base umpire is now calling foul ball.
Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody called anything. Now it's a foul ball.
I'll tell you, Craig Counsell is hot, and I don't blame him. That's the home plate umpire.
How about making a call?
There was no call made by anyone until the second base umpire, Mark Wegner, finally waved it off as foul.
let's see. Does it hit something? What's it hit? I don't know if it hits anything, does it? I mean, does it hit his foot? I didn't see it hit his foot.
That's a tough call to make from a second base.
Yeah, that's pretty good
position.
eyes. I mean, if the home plate umpire can't see it, how does he see it at second base?
Usually you hear it as a home plate umpire, right?
Right.
Oh, here we go. 2-2. Jaso's got another swing. And he pulls that one foul.
If it hits the foot, it's a foul ball. If it hits the leg, it's a foul ball. What does it hit?
Harrison carrying the winning run. Been a battle here between Hughes and Jaso. 2-2 the count. And that one just missed.
Let's see if the Pirates are going to be running on the pitch. That one a little bit off the outside corner.
Jaso had a walk-off against the Mets earlier this year in late May. Full count. Long pause, and again Hughes to make sure Harrison is back. Three and two the count. That definitely hit him.
Hit him a couple of times. Well, you know he's got a good sinker going. Jaso keep beating it right into the ground. It's been all two-seam fastballs in this at bat.
Got to make a pitch. Harrison with great speed at second. 3-2 pitch is in the air, center field. Back is Broxton. He's got it. Harrison's going to tag. Throw comes all the way in. It's the second out of the inning. The potential winning run now 90 feet away. And Hughes an out away from getting this one to the 11th.
Yeah, good pitch. I think that you would classify that as a win for Hughes. Although the winning run is at third base. That was an 8-pitch at bat. All sinkers. Jaso got one up finally in the strike zone and able to lift it in the air.
Meeting at the mound, talking strategy here with runners at first and third.
And they're talking about what they want to do should McCutchen take off. You got more off at the plate. Had a rough time at the plate. Counsell wants to weigh in. What are we going to do if McCutchen takes off? You know what? Let him go. His run means nothing.
Right. So Counsell issues the command.
Probably not even going to hold him on.
Got a left-handed hitter in Moroff, who scored the tying run last inning when he pinch ran for Freeze. Pirates walked off the Brewers earlier this season in a Garrett Cole start.
Yeah, I was wondering why Thames was holding the runner. Why bother? Let him go.
And now Thames will back up, and I'm sure McCutchen will be on the move. Max Moroff. And Hughes deals a ball.
Yeah, even perhaps the bunt for a base hit in this situation. And the infield on the right side is back. He might try and take one with him.
There's a strike. Now Moroff. What Polanco do next? This is the guy Hughes wants right here. And he misses low. 2-1 the count. Put these young guys up in these big spots all across baseball all year. In the last few years, these young players have been delivering on the big stage. Hughes trying to fight off Moroff here. 2 balls and a strike. Winning run at third. Moroff into center field. Broxton coming in. That's the ball game. The Pirates walk off the Brewers tonight as Max Moroff delivers. And a 3-2 win in 10 innings. Heartbreaker for the Brewers tonight.
Another little dork into center field. That's the way they tied it up with Cervelli. Little flare in the right. And a jam shot by Moroff. He gets it over the infield and dumps it into center field. Yep.
Well, the rookie comes through. 2 flares that score the last 2 runs. And the Pirates have taken the first 3 from the Brewers. And the Brewers lead in the National League Central is down to a game and a half. Jeff Grayson standing by in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio. It's time for Brewers Live. Jeff?